But yeah, like I was saying, we are being removed out of here. It's feeling uncomfortable. We're at the edge of safety and security at night within New York City. Battery Park is, like I said, the last area that I know that you can feel safe at night. It's the last piece of the puzzle of what used to be New York City in the past. You know, because other places used to be safe, right? Union Square Park used to be safe at night. Not now. Now it's just Union Square Park is junkie central. People injecting themselves, sleeping on cardboards right next to the trains, on the floor, like nothing. It's not safe. It's not like before. And that happened. All these issues happened in 10 years. Racial tension exploded based on the great replacement of the area, the demographics of the area. And COVID, the stack on top of issues. COVID came through this and that, and it's not going to stop. That feeling of that unwelcoming feeling in the city based on racial dynamics, it's not going to stop. They're not going to go away. You are going to have to go because they're going to overprice your food. It's going to happen. It's already happening. You're already losing money. I'm losing money. I'm loss making month over month. Loss making month to month because they price it just right. They price refrigerated items just right. So even if you have cash assistance, you have nothing left over month to month. Either you starve or waste everything you got to survive just to stick a single meal a day in your body. Lack of electricity could be another great factor because if I had electricity, then maybe I could probably do something about it. But they're changing the environment just like it is in the hood, in the ghetto, in Sugar Hill, in Harlem. They're making areas in which I could have been safe at night unlivable. Pricing food that I used to afford and tossing it out the window. Like I'm not gonna buy that. I'm gonna go traditional. Get a chopped cheese if I'm really hungry, and even that is harmful to my health. Because there should be other choices. Before 10 years ago, I used to frequent Newport, New Jersey. Maybe, just maybe, I gotta cross the bridge for some affordable choices. You know, But then I might end up staying over there across the bridge and not and leave Battery Park for good. If I find a niche, right? Unbothered sleep, a place to work in the morning to charge up my things, a public library, because I like public libraries. The way I like to live is fall asleep on a train, wake up, and enter a new public library. I work from the computer. I like libraries. I enter every library I can. But if I can't be on the train at night, if I'm gonna be assaulted, right? If I'm gonna be hit, beaten on, punched, asleep for no reason whatsoever, unprovoked by an African American male, I can't do what I'm supposed to do. And just 10 years ago, this was possible. 10 years ago, there was nobody on the A train at night. Nobody. Empty. Five Mexicans. And they work. Construction workers. After having a couple beers, with their hands crossed, bound in their bellies, assed out, covered in paint. You could tell, specks of paint in their face. After working all night long, just sleeping. So you would be in a boxcar in which had five people in it, and it'd be full. But the shelter system now is an African American shelter at night. It stopped being something that You could be safe in at night to a shelter almost for an excess of African American people, an excess. The only one that's safe, but there's still some risks, is the M train, the metro train. And even then, it's just not recommended to be on the train at night, especially with expensive belongings. So you can't move around. I see, I seek not moving around from a general area based on the racial dynamics of the city, based on the aggressive and threatening and volatility in which any moment something could happen and you're in it, or it's directed to you because you have long hair, because you're white, because you're kind of pretty. And I used to be way prettier when I got to the city. When I got to the city, I had straight teeth. My teeth ain't even straight anymore from all the teeth pulling and touching and injecting and doing all these things, all these civil right violations, all these things that they don't want to talk about that they do to other people. Having a memory of an African American female saying, "Oh, we should have never messed with his teeth. We should have never taken his smile," raises some serious concerns about their behavior. They're into modifying your body, dreading your hair, perming your hair, touching you inappropriately, sticking you with needles, acquired behaviors from other places around the world, like Mexico, like Venezuela, in which people don't give a shit. You know, us, 1985, remember the AIDS epidemic. Remember 1999, 92, right? 92, 93, 89, know about AIDS and don't play with needles. We don't play with needles. My generation does not play with needles. If you're 40 today, that's nothing to play with. So those people want to be introduce foreign objects in your body like that with no repercussions, the absence of thought or guilt about such risky behavior. And it's all to do things to you, make you feel unwelcome. It's all to fuck with you. Sorry for cursing. It's all to make you feel that you have no control over the situation. You can't be on the train. You can't be there. You can't do what you want to do here in the city. Overcrowded trains, racial dynamics, demographic shift. It's over. We lost the city. The city's gone, right? And we're gonna Nay from Bronx, Uptown, have made a TikTok video that, yeah, it's the happiest place in the country. New York City is the happiest place in the country. And Nay was like, for who? Not for me. This is not the tourists. They surveyed 100 tourists saying that this is the happiest place in the country with all the things that are happening to people here, unwarranted hair pulling, hair damaging, unwarranted assault, injections, needles, teeth modifications, right? They want to make gaps in your teeth here. When I got to this city, you could tell how I looked, how my smile was just 2 years ago. This wasn't an orthodontic mistake. This was done to me. They expanded my palate by injecting things into my mouth, by pulling on my teeth. You see what I mean? And you can't do nothing about that because if you're sleeping on the train, they'll do whatever to you. What we need in the city is firearms. That's what I need. I need a big one right there. Boom. 45 ACP hollow point. It's not real damaging. We should be allowed to put a hole in someone. That's how, real radical. If they're that radical with you, they're into body modifications, right? If they're into doing that to other people, if they're into likely giving you AIDS out here, if they're into giving AIDS to you, we should be able to put something through them to stop them in the middle of the train in front of everyone. Like walk in there and go, "What's up, Papa?" "Oh yeah," "Oh, you acting tough?" Boom. That's it. Make people go, "Oh, walk out the train," and let NYPD deal with him. But I mean a solid asshole in his ass, a big one like that on his back, like a tiny little entry and just back, softball size hole in his back. That's what we need. That way, you tone down the stupidity. You tone down the liberal shit. You tone down the body modifications, the pricking. You stop the aggression. You put them in their place, and you make sure that it's visible. Like you go to sleep and you have two solid ass strap pistols to your armpits. Like, not gonna fuck with me, B. And see what they're gonna do with it. See what they're gonna do. They're gonna be like, a typical behavior of what these people are afraid of. That's the only way. Because I'm not afraid of them, but I know what they did. Like these people have admitted what they done to me here, and this is here in Tribeca, bro. This is just here. Imagine if I would have stayed on that train. I probably been dead. I probably would have been dead. Luckily, I got out the train as soon as I noticed that it's a gang that is full of gang activity, that it's a lot of stalking happening in there. There's a lot of violence and a lot of real strange behavior like teeth touching, pulling, sexual assault, dreadlock making, twist making, perming your hair, all these unwarranted, lock breaking, lock pulling. They like to break the lock from your backpack for nothing. Not to go in and stick their hand in it because they're really sleeping on the bag, but taking a lock, doing all these unwarranted behaviors to people, like, and you think it's any of those people is white? No, none of these people is white. None of these people that did anything to me in the last 2 years was white. So we're gonna be driven out. There's gonna be an end. There's gonna be a bye-bye, and they're gonna celebrate. Yeah, no white people in New York City, and then one. Then they're gonna see the. Then they're gonna see the landslide. America state that New York City is the worst place to be in. It went from the happiest place in the city, in the country by 100 tourists surveyed, to the worst place to live. So we're not going to be here. They're making it the illusion, right? They're lying out their ass that this is okay here. Nah, we need something. We need something that tips the scales against them. If they're gonna be on top of us like that all the time, right? And in the white area where there's white majority, they're gonna put mass surveillance and a bunch of African taking pictures of you. We need something that tips the scales that way. Like that. It's a pistol. It's a pistol. We need guns. We need access to pistols. We need access to firearms to see if it sends a message like, no, we can't be doing that to people out here because they're not going to stop. There's someone out there getting their teeth pulled in that train. There's someone out there losing a $4,000 orthodontics job because they don't know how bad the city had gotten. Or worse, losing teeth up in the Bronx. I've seen those fights. Dominicans are into collecting teeth after a fight. Oh, look, I took his teeth. I knocked his teeth out. Oh. Like if that's something to be, like if that's, something that's respected. We're talking about someone's mouth, B. The whole fang, his whole fang. He had another human's fang in his hand. A fang, a canine in his palm. And they showed it on camera. Oh, that's what racial dynamics does to your community. If you had orthodontics treatment, out the window in one night, a few nights, they'll make sure you got no smile. In a few or more nights, in a few or more months, they'll make sure to assault you and take your beauty. Completely. Take your beauty, assault you, hit you in your face, hit you in the head, make your head warp, you're right, make your heart. People that never been punched, that never been assaulted in their life, that never been in a real fight, you end up with a crooked nose, you know, uh, some form of deformity in the face based on people putting their hands on you for no reason whatsoever. Survey stating that's the happiest place in the world in the country. It's not. It's hell on earth. B. Crossing that east side highway, the tension rise. The stairs start. The pulling on your property starts. The first day I got to Tribeca, getting going into TD Bank to open a bank account, going in the bank, someone's about to go to the teller, ripped open my iPhone watch, ripped it open from the wrist. And I'm holding my things and I'm going into the bank or whatever. And this African American male decided to grab my iPhone and rip it. Luckily, he didn't take the phone because he had to use the teller, but he just broke it. Why is that? Because I don't have a pistol on me? 45 ACP super special, right? Some real big. Put a hole in a nigga. Give him a second ass to shit through. It's serious, Pete. How long is this going to take? How long are we going to take before we realize that we have to go? We have to go. We have to go. We have to find a place to go. I have to find a place to go, and I don't even live here. I wouldn't raise my kid in New York. I wouldn't. I would out that way. Why? Because I know that my kid is going to end up a thug. He's going to end up saying nigga. He's going to end up smoking laced weed, Delta 8, and all that bullshit that makes him schizophrenic and shit. Giggling, bubbling. Like a so fucking retarded and shit, smoking that bullshit. Sticking tobacco in their nose, putting tobacco on food. Straight retardation out here. You see what I mean? It's serious. The concerns in the city are real serious. And it was likely drugs. We could say that it was drugs. They legalized weed, and through weed, they slipped under the table every narcotic possible. It's not a joke. This is not a game. They legalized cannabis, and everyone turned into a psychopath. Everyone lost their mind. Be doing all this shit to you. The demographics turned like that. Everyone wanted to be here. Yeah, New York legalized. All these people that came into the city just for that. And you start seeing a pattern in which whites are poor and blacks are rich too. Over time, after legalization in the last 10 years, you could tell that this is true. You could tell that you have crooked teeth and they have a beautiful sparkling mouth. You don't have that much expensive luxury items, and African Americans got the Gucci, got the LV, got the this, got the Prada, got the Birkin bag, got all this shit. You could tell that the effort that they place into being successful is there, but they're making it incapable for us to make something of ourselves out here. It's serious. Look at it take your teeth. Look at it take your smile, your beauty. If you're too beautiful, they're gonna pound on you. They're gonna hit you. They gotta make you ugly just to feel satisfied with themselves. Oh, that man, I was a guy when I got in here. I was real pretty. I got to the city after 10 years of captivity as I earned my doctorate. That's the first thing that they did. Beat me up. In the first nights of being in the train. I wasn't in the train. It was the first winter. June. By November, I was already beat up. Took a few months, 5, 6 months. Oh, it's cold. Let me go on the train to live my life the way I like it, which is basically get on the train and go to whatever library. Bing, boom, 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 boom. For what? Because of my property, because of my expensive bag. While you wear Travis Scott, well, you have $1,000 sneaker on. Well, you have, your shiny bright white teeth because of my MacBook Pro that you want to destroy, right? So that I don't have it because you don't want me to have things. Knowing you have a MacBook Pro at your house, knowing you have your own computer at your house, that's their behavior. That's the root, the issue with their behavior right there. This is what they do to other people. This is what they do to other people here. It's to deprive you of wealth so that you run out of here. Say they got the power now. They made me how I am. If they think I'm racist now, hell yeah, I'm racist, and it's their problem, not me. Because I got here, everyone was equal. When I got here, I skateboarded in a 30-foot group of African American kids. See what I mean? I was surrounded by people of color with a skateboard in my hand. And everyone was equal at that moment. And those years were 2009, 10, 11, 12. Those 4 years. Everyone was happy out here. Everyone got along. 20 Summer of 2023, nobody gets along. Everyone's already segregated. Whites with whites, no blacks in Union Square Park. Everyone doing it was a completely different environment. They stopped being nice, B. Cannabis made them crazy. Something happened. Something snapped on them. And we are where we are right now. They don't get along. We don't get along. They're never gonna do what we need them to do, which is stock the shelf, right? Stop overpricing our food. One, stop being so violent. Stop the unprovoked assault. Stop playing with teeth. Stop playing with our aesthetics. Stop beating us up. Stop playing with our hair, right? Have some respect for other people. Keep your hands to yourself. Just basic civility that these people don't have. And they're not going to get it. They're not going to find that in a gift at Christmas. They're not going to find civility in a gift at Christmas. They're not just going to learn how to coexist in real toxic racial dynamics in the city. They're going to continue being the people who they are. They're going to continue acting plastic and being nice, being the people responsible for doing things to me here in the city, right? It's for real. Being the people responsible for doing things, though, some of them are going to still try to act nice with other motives, right? And we're going to end up going. I'm going to end up going because I'm not going to want to be here. I don't see a future in New York. I'm at the edge, at the borderline. Once my needs are unmet, a bridge in New Jersey sounds good enough for me. Anywhere, a bench, somewhere that I could sit that I don't get rained on is fine for me. I can sit and sleep. I don't need to lay down. I could just sit, and spend the night there. As long as I'm not seen, not bothered, not robbed, not beaten, not stolen, not my teeth played with, not my property vandalized or broken, I'm fine. And that's basically all of New York City. That's basically the problem the entirety of New York City has. That it's unable to understand that there's differences in people, differences in the amount of money that we have, differences in character, differences in education. They don't care. All they see is that inequality. They feel unequal. They don't see themselves in the mirror as the oppressor. They don't see themselves as the criminal side. They think we deserve what they doing to us. They think we deserve to suffer. It's not a game. They think we deserve to suffer in such a fashion. to drain, rinse my if I if I didn't have enough money, rinse my last dollar to survive by overpricing food. They don't care. They're going to continue doing everything they're doing, and I know they are going to drive me out the city. The issue is when the damage was already done. My smile is not there. My face, my hair is not the same. They did everything they could to change me, to try to make me look into something that I am not. I don't care. They'll do whatever to anyone. Just because I have an expensive, just because I got a stomper. I'm a stomper, right? I got a stomper. I got this nice $400 backpack. You hate that, right? You want it? You want to take it from me? You want to break it? Huh? Right? I got this $2,000 computer. You want to break it? There's something that triggers them. Something always gets a hold of their demeanor and turns them on you. Something. It's something. It's something. It's something in particular that drives them to the edge. An iPhone watch, an iWatch, just to rip it open from you. A big bag just to try to beat you to take it. A computer to break it and not steal it. It's something always makes them tip over the edge. Always something. For what? Drive you out the city? Stop me from being here? When are they gonna wake up? When are they gonna wake? When are they gonna wake up? When are they gonna realize that they racist as fuck, that they dangerous as fuck, and then they're encroaching and expanding into areas in which they are driving hundreds of thousands of people out the city. Safety and security concerns. 100,000 people at the door. When are they gonna realize that? They're gonna wake up and put that on national television, put that on that pipe and smoke that blacks are responsible for people to leave the city for good, and they're not coming back. They're not coming back. We're not coming back in this motherfucker. I'm not coming back to New York ever again. At best, the food stamp office if I stay close enough. At best, a food stamp office if I stay close enough. Other than that, hell no. Hell no. Never again, baby. They got to learn the lesson. They got to realize that they're the issue and that we're not going to be able to, deal with such issues. The ones driving us out. And what we need is some form of population control. We need something, maybe a pistol, something serious. Maybe, you know, legalizing firearms in the city. Firearms in the city. Something must come out of it. Let's see if start pushing them back. You know, something must be done. B. They're gonna drive us out of New York. B. They're making sure that we never come back. They've done enough things to us already that they want us to go. B. They want us to go, and their heart they'll be happy as hell when they realize we're not in the city. They're looking to drive us out of our own city through violence, and we need some form of population control. We need a pistol. Laws have to change. It cannot. This city cannot be communist and democratic anymore. We need a radical Republican shift in the city. This city has to turn red quickly before you lose this motherfucker. But I mean, without a doubt, big changes. If I was mayor, yeah, legal carry of firearms allowed. See, let them kill themselves quickly, right? I'd be like, let me put my level, let me do my plate, let me put a science book in my chest here just in case. Put my science book, put my science book under my plate and deal with it that way. That's the only way we're going to be able to deal with the issue. Because if it were for NYPD, we're gonna end up. It's not gonna be 100,000 people that left the city. It's gonna be 250,000 people that's gonna leave the city. It's gonna be 250,000 out of 8 million people, and you best bet that 250,000 people is gonna replace where you were. They're gonna live where you live. They're gonna enter the door you enter. They're gonna basically do. They're gonna basically do 1999 Dominican Republic invasion of Puerto Rico, and then make it seem that the invasion is not there, that they're not foreign illegals, right? And then there's going to be a million Dominicans in Puerto Rico that naturalized and are now American. Worse than just 100,000 illegal immigrants. That's basically what's happening here. It's identical to the racial dynamics of PR. You think that the people back in the day used to be people from PR, right? But we switched places. PR got so bad that Puerto Ricans ended up in Dominican Republic. And those are the rich doctors out there right now. Those are the people living in wealth at beachfront properties in Dominican Republic. And, those are the people enjoying of fine luxuries over there because it was like a trade-off. These people wanted to invade our land. The thinkers, the smart American people went to the other side. It was an invasion. It wasn't 100,000 Dominicans that entered PR. It was a million. And there's supposedly 5 million people in PR. 5 million. And in reality, less than 700 million Puerto Ricans are there. And the rest of the 4 million, they are from everywhere, including some Americans. It's a really small group of real Puerto Rican people, and the majority, where you from, you see they got dual citizenship. And they end up making you run for the hills. They end up taking over drug points. They end up stealing your grandmother's last plate. They end up replacing you, B. I've seen this already. I have enough experience with immigration and racial dynamics to know, because I'm the one that's lived it twice already. I've lived this twice already. I know what it means for your grandmother to be harassed over her vehicle every day, B. I got $1,000. Sell me that car. And that's your car. In 3 more years, you're going to be driving that car to the beach. Dominican with $1,000 cash. Hey, señora, let me buy your car here. Let me buy your car. Let me get the key. Let me get the key. To take the car from her. To do what? To sell drugs? To destroy it once I get it? Because they destroyed it after I got it. They destroyed the car because I had it. Because they wanted to take it. And they're foreign illegals, B. They're people that swam across the point por la Isla de Mona to come live in PR. Undocumented. Illegal naturalization papers. Illegal Puerto Rican license. Illegal residency. Illegal passport. They end up American. Like that. Like that within weeks. Back in the day. I don't know now if the way they give licenses, right? Because as long as you have a Puerto Rican license, you will get a passport. As long as you confirm that you live there in PR, these people will find an American passport. And then they come back at their family and they end up here in DR or they stay in Puerto Rico. But I know about this, man. People think that I don't know about shifting racial dynamics and the replacement of other people. I seen it in the west side of PR. I seen this happen in Puerto Rico. You ended up talking at night in the hood, drinking beer with some Dominican person instead of a Puerto Rican man. And Puerto Ricans used to be all light-eyed and white. That's how you know they're Puerto Rican and blonde, just like myself. Little redhead, nice and tan, some blonde color, some red color in the hair. And it was replaced by Middle Eastern looking people, by Dominican dark looking people. That's what happened in PRB. There's no Puerto Ricans. There's no real Puerto Ricans in PR. It's by majority of foreign illegal. The real Puerto Ricans are in their homes and they're old and they're dying. When I grew up, there used to be two types of Puerto Ricans. Two, white and light-eyed and red skin. And we're talking about early 1990s. I was in first, second, third grade. Blonde with light eyes and red skin. Taino. Real red skin. Actual red skin. Like you can look at their skin and the skin is red and black straight hair. That was the only two types of people that were in PR. Those were native to that. They were not Hindu, they were Puerto Rican. And then a whole wave at the project by the projects, right? Caserio, by majority Dominican. All the Caserio, Dominican. And all they wanted was to take your stuff. They needed your stuff to succeed. If they knew you behind your back, they're already in your grandma's house, asking for food, asking for a couple plates, asking for a little silverware, asking for the car. Can I have the car? Let me buy the car. Just to sell it forward, right? Buy it at $1,000 and try to triple the money for $3,000, right? Sell it to someone else for $3,000. Go to your father's house if they know you. Exhaust them of every VHS. My father had thousands of VHS, thousands, boxes, walls full of VHS tapes. These Dominicans, the foreign illegals, came into his house and took every movie from his house. He just gave shit out. Oh, you got magazines? Yeah, we need some magazines. Report. Gave him every magazine that he had stored over the years. Skateboarding magazines, surfing magazines. Treasured, coveted things. Your will. Right? My grandmother, Michael Jackson LPs, all of them, including the Thriller, including the expensive ones. All right? And that's what they do. They exhaust you of your will. Their desire for private property, their desire for your personal property is so large, they don't quit asking for it. I already hit a trade. They don't stop asking for it. And when you come back to your grandmother's house, there's nothing there. And that's what the great replacement does. That's what a great replacement, that's what racial dynamics do to a country. Where you are, you cannot be, and you end up moving. Where you are, you cannot be, and people who remain will be rinsed out of their own shit. Will be rinsed out of every last cent, every personal property left. Anything that these people accumulated in their life will be asked for every day. Oh, my father, but no, no, let me sell you that van. I need that SUV. How about you sell me the house? How about you sell me the SUV? How about you sell me this bike? How about you sell me this house? The SUV, the SUV. This is what these people do. They exhaust you of your will, of what should, that the lack of, and Hispanics are horrible with passing down things to their children. Horrible. Why? Because they have a foreign illegal in their house right now. Because they got some other family members from non-associated, not even close to your family, in your house as they die. This is what happens. It's not a joke, B. They're in your house right now. So you're calling your father, hey, who you with? You're not supposed to be careful because they're gonna take your stuff when you die. If you die, we're not gonna get anything. Not my brother, not me, is gonna get anything because they're gonna lock us out of our own place, the place where we grew up. For you letting these people in your house, just letting them in your house is no contest. Just letting them in your house is no contest. And they are real tactics. They have really good tactics and how to win the hearts of people so that they stay with the elderly. The elderly dies, they take everything, and you got nothing left at the end. Not even a check, a pat in the butt. Yeah, he dead. Bye. Bop, bop, and go on in your way. And this is in addition to the absence of free will for Hispanics, the absence of passing down a house to their kids so they do better, so they maybe raise their own kids there. Because they're greedy pigs. These Hispanics are greedy fucking pigs. They'll spend every last cent before they die. And they'll end up giving what's supposed to be for you on their last name to the first person off the street. They'll sell a house so that you don't have it in $20,000. Retarded. Retarded. $20,000 for a livable working house. Retarded. So this is what a great replacement does. You go back to your grandmother's house, there's nothing there. The LPs are gone. You open the cupboard, no plates, 4 or 5 plates, a few forks and a few knives and a few spoons. The mattress is still there, the clothes is still there, the picture, the Bible, certain things are still there. But the things that they want, plop, plop, room empty. And they don't stop. They do not stop. When they have a target, it's every week until they convince that person they'll sell that vehicle and then burn it so that you don't have it. Crash it, wreck it. Drug money related. Wreck it. A car, a van that my father spent tens of thousands of dollars to repair over the years, you know, well taken care of, right? Everything well taken care of, good maintenance record, never crashed this and that. Ask and beg and beg and beg and beg and beg until you give it to them and then they crash it the same week. And it's all to exhaust you of will. You have place to live. You're the target. You're the one they hate because they think everything good happens to you. But they don't see themselves behind your back in your house taking everything they could from these targets. And that's what they do when a great replacement occurs. That's what happens when immigration laws are a little bit too weak. When immigration doesn't have a tall enough fence. a good enough threat. A rifle, couple bullet holes to people looking to jump the fence. That's when the world's a little bit too humane. That's what happens when the world's a little bit too nice with people that want to invade another country. That's what happens when you're too nice. When governments are a little bit too nice, your citizens stop having wills, stop having things to keep about your parents. No pictures, all thrown out in the trash. No cars, no property, zero, zero, zero. You come back to nothing. And that's what immigrants do to you. That's how immigrants think. That's how African Americans are thinking in this city. Take everything you got and make 100,000 people jump the bridge. Either people, I don't know where they're coming from, Atlanta, Africa, Dominican Republic, Haitian, wherever the fuck they coming from, that's what they doing here. And I know they doing this here because there's evidence. It's the same type of behavior. It's demeanor, it's aggressive, it's to drive you out. And then behind your back, the people that you know are being rinsed of their property. Oh, let me get that table. Yeah. I want that table. I need a table for my babies and my kids to have breakfast on. Yeah, yeah. You come back home, you got no table. Oh, let me get the plates. I got no plates at home. Yeah, these plates not enough. Look at the plates I got. These bowls is plastic. Let me get your plates. Come back, no plates. Oh, let me get that car. I got some money here. Let me take your car. Come back, your grandmother got no way of got no transportation now. Everything. Rinsed of everything, B. Zero. You come back to what the fuck? Where's all your price belongings? What's all you work hard for? Where's all that she worked hard for? They take it from there. They take it from them, B. And you can't control your parents to stop them from doing that. Your own blood could do that. People disguise themselves as your family members could do that to your own family, right? These strangers, the strangers that I'm looking to tell my dad to stay out the house, keep these people out your house because if something happens to you today, these people will steal everything from your house. But there's nothing, you can't get into those people. These people, manso, ponen a la gente mansita. They rub their hair, they give them their plate of food, they act real nice, and their motive is taking everything from these people. Everything, every last cent. And they know they have family members, and their goal is to separate you from them. They hate you. They hate you. When they have a target, the first thing they do is advise them of getting rid of him or her. Oh, not her. Get her away from here. You know, él es un desgraciado. He's a what do you call it? He doesn't deserve what you're giving him. This and that. They separate them from their family. They brainwash them to an extent in which they they identify with the foreign culture, and you end up out the door. You end up out the door. When you come back, there's nothing left. When you come back, there was nothing for you. You come back, not even money, not even a picture is left. Not even a picture is left. A picture, your picture in that house is left because everything is thrown in the garbage. You're replaced by someone else. It makes great sense, right? I'm a good storyteller. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is what's happening to regular New Yorkers here in the city. This is identical. Identical. It's to drive you out, take everything you own, and then laugh when you go, ha ha ha, bobo, bobo, ha 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 ha, bobo, bobo, dumb, dumb, dummy, ha ha ha, dumb, ha ha ha. It is not funny. These people brainwash your family to get them to kick you out. And then people that are not your family take everything, baby. They start little by little. Oh, you got some gold. Oh, you got some money. Oh, you got $40. Oh, can you invite me to your house? Yeah, yeah, come. Come to my house. In a snap of a finger, your elderly has nothing left. And it comes from lax immigration policy, from the lack of, you know, lack of rational conscience. They don't have American values. American values pass on things to their children. They're not American. And if your parents were somewhat a little bit American, they turn they turn on their head. Their beliefs, everything just changes. And you bye bye, nothing. You die with nothing. That's why, luckily, some of us are smart enough and we could survive a little bit. We got a little money to survive out here. Because if it were for that, we would be exhausted of nothing. And the government doesn't want to admit that the immigration problem exists. That's the worst part. When governments do nothing, that's the worst part. When governments do nothing. They know that the immigration problem exists. They know they're taking over your land. They're taking everything from you, and they're not going to admit that they have an immigration issue. They're not going to admit that they started, from the DMV out, right? DMV that started these programs to naturalize all these people. They don't see a problem in a foreign national representing an island in sports like Puerto Rico taking benefits from real Puerto Ricans in sports. Because this is all that starts happening. Once the takeover, right? In my lifetime, and I'm 40 years old, from the 1990s, right? 1992, 1993, 1994, in which there was only white, blonde, beautiful people and Redskins. The Dominicans come in, right? And what starts happening to Puerto Rican sports? Whomever comes in the door is better than you. Whomever comes in the door is better than you, right? Naturalizing foreign illegals, right? Foreign immigrants, to put them on a pedestal and call them Puerto Rican and raise the flag in boxing and basketball and baseball and softball, in karate and surfing and bodyboarding and skateboarding and everything. And everything. In everything. And what happens to you? If you did that your whole life, the government who's going to represent your flag is going to be someone that's not from PR. And this is time and time again. Off the boat into American television. Off the boat into the Major Leagues Baseball. Off the boat into NBA. Off the boat to raise the flag. Puerto Rico, yeah, all for clout. And the poor person in PR, the ones that Dominicans did not target, right? The ones that really had nothing, that Dominicans looked in, damn, these people is real poor. That one, poor still. Thinking that, yeah, he's Puerto Rican, yeah, deporte, béisbol, béisbol. That man is not Puerto Rican, B. That man's used an immigration loophole to come play ball here, and they replaced a real Puerto Rican ball player. Instead of giving him the shot, they gave the person off the boat a right to lift that flag up. And this is time and time again. This is the issues, racial dynamics of lax immigration and what they do to the invading force. This is what happens to people when the great replacement in census occurs. White, blonde, light eyed, red skin, all Dominican. No red skin, no light blonde eyed, everyone brown. Light blonde, light eyed, red skin, everyone brown. or dark, real dark. That's what happens. And these people are not to be found. You don't even see them anymore. None of these people. And when you ask them, where you from? Denmark. Where you from? Europe. Where you from? You see that? When you ask these people, oh, you beautiful. Where you from? I'm from I'm from Europe. I'm from Germany. I'm from this and that. And we used to be them, you know, like that. And you, the minority. Real Puerto Ricans, naturalized Puerto Ricans, born in Puerto Rico from 3, 4 generations, it's the minority in Puerto Rico. Minority, a handful of these people that still have the house that they lived in, the same amount of land, living from the same hill, right? Planting the same food, the same banana field. They haven't been able to take over that. They haven't been able to replace those people up in that hill. And that's what's going to happen here in New York. That's what's happening already in New York. It's identical. And African Americans are helping them do it. African Americans are responsible for the great replacement here in New York City. They're helping the Hispanics continue to gain more land until you're gone, until you're out. There's somewhere better for us, like always. And our material wealth, everything we accumulated in New York City, thrown in the garbage. Garbage, because they don't care. You think they care? You think they care preserving your will with American values to pass that on to your children? Nah, they'll steal every last thing that you could have passed down to your kid within 6 months. They'll come in begging with money. Money, here, free money. Buy me the house, buy me the car, buy me my property. I'll give you $50,000 for your apartment, for your house. Cash. And greed, and they end up throwing your history away. They replace your history. They throw everything out in the garbage. And you, man, if you have 10 pictures of you growing up with your mom, and you're lucky. You're lucky. If you have 10 pictures of yourself after these opposing people take over everything you own, you're lucky. And you better have them in your email, somewhere safe, so that you remember your history. You have a couple pictures of you growing up, your father when young, your auntie, your grandmother, your father. If you still have something of that, you're considered lucky, because they destroy and throw out everything. They will replace you. It happened to me already, and it's happening twice, because New York is falling. New York's already, New York's like Rome. New York's already been out, being flushed down the toilet. This makes me want to pound a beer right now. It does. It really does. Makes me want to pound a beer. Makes me reflect. It is not a game. It is real serious, man. It is really, really serious. Listen to some music. I'll be out of here by 10:30, and I'll see you guys at 10:15. I got lots of work to do today. So I'm not planning on watching the stock market after 10. I gotta focus for a little bit, at least till the afternoon, and then I'll check my trades. Another 50%, buddy. Be careful whose strategy you copy trading, B. I'm watching. I don't want, what's his name? Forrest, right? Complaining about me in the chat when you literally just using what I'm using. I'm watching. Because you people, we wanna acting real toxic, and in reality it's just copy trading here, like if you guys were rookies, fresh in chat. Careful, I'm watching. Yeah, 50%. I'm on 30%, 5 contracts. Take profit is at 602 flat, right? 602 flat. The MACD on the 30 has a full 20 on it still. And as it goes higher, it gains more. So that's all I'm looking with 5 contracts. 30% of 5 contracts, right? Amounting to 375, not 260. And I've set another 5 contract trade at the dip at another 30% for another $375. We're waiting. We're waiting. And I'm watching. I don't want that hate in chat. You know, if you're gonna be copy trading the way I trade, yeah, another 50% like that. Like if you're cool or whatever, you're doing what I'm doing. And stop it. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Yeah. Getting out of here soon, guys. I'm getting out of here soon. I'm already finding out that people is doing 50% trades now. Like, oh, who do you think did that? Who do you think? Who do you think? Tiggs mentioned, right? But Tiggs' strategy is a little bit too more complicated, right? Tiggs' strategy is a little bit too complicated because she's working with, or he's working with, volatility, so on and so forth. Takes trades, rolls them, 3 contract only, and look how green we are right now. We printing singles. Now we printing $5 right now. We're printing between five to $10 a second, and I'm not gonna close until it hits. What do I see here before I leave you guys until 11:15? We're probably gonna stay above VWAP. There's definitely increased supply pressure right there. Like this supply to 602 is pressuring me. It's not. See that 24 on the 30. That's pretty good. And this is VWAP. We just had a little VWAP touch and bounce, and we should hit 602 today. It's on the menu. It's on the menu. When this hits, it's going to be fantastic. And we're heading to it right now. You see how it's consuming the supply up to 602, 601.67? It's going to be fantastic. Once this breaks, once the sell pressure here, the people who left at the top end, we're going to hit 602. I'm going to print my $375 champion status, and that's it. And I'm going to wait for the dip, and I'm going to do it again. And that's it. That's it, baby. So you guys want to continue singling me out on chat, won't be toxic, right? Because most of you is racially divided or whatever. Don't be complaining. Don't be making fun of me because you guys be using my trades. That ass. That ass. On Ratatouille, B. You guys be using my trades. Look at it. It's about to go. We're not going down. We're going up. Right up. And the candle fill on the daily is pretty solid. We are probably going to fill all of this area on the macro today. Although there's no real gap up signal here. There's no clear indication if the day is going to be bullish or not because it was kind of bland day to day. Between yesterday and today, there was no real big indication. So it could either be a real doji, right? But it feels like we're going to hit 602. And once we do, I'll print and chop, chop, paper in my hand. I'll see you guys at 11:15. I got to go find something to eat. Hopefully, there's something to eat at Amazon Go because I'm starving. I'll see you guys soon.